Hi Magda, and nice to see you come in here. And I don't know, I scheduled a webinar last week, and I had the time, the webinar before I had scheduled for Australia. So I actually mixed the time zone. So, but please, ladies there, say hi. We are still early. It's 7 minutes left. So there's a lot of people who have signed up, but I don't know. I know this is daytime and it might be that people is working and stuff. And I see I might go up extremely early in the morning to have it in the evening in the US. It's possible for me because I'm fine in early morning, but late in night, I'm not good. So, yeah. See. And when you write, it's good if you write to all the panelists and attendees. If you look on the side there, you can see to all panelists and attendees, because then everybody will see this chat. And if you want to send me, just me a message, you can take panelist, because I'm the only panelist. So I had this webinar with the Australian, and they wasn't actually chatting a lot. And my Norwegian buddies, they are always sending me a lot of message all the time. So I appreciate if you can just say hi or something, so I get a little feeling of you. Hi, Kelly. Thank you very much for getting in here. And Marysville in California. I lived in California in Laguna Beach many years ago when I was young. I was there for almost a year. And nice. So America is so big, right? I'm sitting here in Norway, and we are, well, Norwegian country is pretty big, but we are only 5 million people. So it's really, it's a big difference. And I'm sitting by the Norwegian fjords. So right outside my window, I have the fjords. And then it's out to the North Sea, and you can actually go with a boat direct over to the States. So that's pretty cool. What about you other ladies there? Can you say hi to me? And I just need to see how it works to run a webinar at this time. But whatever, we are fine with whatever. I have studied Feng Shui. I'm used to say it in the Chinese way, Feng Shui. But I have studied Feng Shui. Feng Shui is the way you say it in the US. With a lot of Chinese masters. And they are really strict. But what I'm taking in here, because I've also been a lot involved in the yoga tradition. So what I've seen is that we talk about chakras all the time, but nobody talks about the chakras in the home. And what I'm going to share with you, I have kept mostly inside a course I run for my Norwegian audience. I have had this course for 2 years, and I think actually almost 1,000 people are taking that class now. And it's pretty cool when we see the connection we have with the home, because it's about connecting. Our house is really a mirror of our life. So what I was starting to say here is that even if my background is in Feng Shui, I love to study the deep texts of all the different scriptures that really explain the energy, and see how we can take that old ancient teaching into a modern world. And that is my mission and my passion. But my life takes me a lot around. Tomorrow I'm going actually over to UK, to Scotland, and in 1.5 weeks I'm going to Indonesia and do some work there. So yeah, but I'm babbling all the time, and it's really nice if you can just there is other people here as well. Can you say hi and just let me know where you are? I'm excited to connect with this part. It's like I said, I have been living in Sri Lanka for almost 7 years. It's just like I'm just probably only 1 year back in Norway, because I love my Asian life. It's some family stuff that brought me back. And when I'm sitting down there in Sri Lanka, I work with the Norwegian people, and I imagine where they are in the world. Aloha from Hawaii, nice. I love Hawaii. I haven't been there for many years. I was there when I was very young. Nice to connect with you. And of course, I know that, not of course, but I have a feeling that all these indulgent people was thinking in terms of energy when they organized their home. Even in Norway here, my ex-husband is a carpenter. And you know what they did in Norway in old days, because his dad was a carpenter, his granddad was a carpenter, they came from far up north, and they used dogs to find where the best place to put the bedroom, because the dog has the same energy system as we have. They sleep in the night and are awake in day. And cats is opposite. So cats has this opposite energy. But in old Norway, they was letting the dogs in, and where the dog was feeling comfortable to sleep, they was putting the bedroom. So that's pretty cool. It's a lot of old traditions there. It's 7 o'clock now, so it's actually the time I've set for the webinar. We are pretty few. I think 200 people have signed up, but whatever, we can have fun. But please, this is how I run my webinars. I do have a presentation, a pretty long presentation, but under the presentation, I will really appreciate if you can just send me some questions or whatever, because a webinar for me is also a communication with you, which is listening to this. So it's not just for me to make a video. It is for me to sit down and connect and feel, where are you in your life, and what can I do to inspire you to move your energies around, because that's what all is about. It's about balancing the energy on the inside and in the outside world. That's how it is. And so what about you, other people there? You want to say hi to me? Or I'm not forcing you though, but if you do, I'm happy. Cindy and Deborah and Kelly. Kelly said hi, and Deborah said hi, sorry. Magda, where are you, Magda? Where in the world? And if you don't feel comfortable about chatting there, that's fine as well. I'm not going to force you. But I feel I'm babbling a lot because I'm used to my Norwegian buddies that always chat a lot before we start the presentation. So I need to get used to you guys as well. And North Carolina, hi Kimberly, nice. I really appreciate you say that. And I think most of the people here is from the States, because when I'm putting out the ads, I'm targeting different areas, and so this I was thinking to connect with you American and see how it is to work with you as well. Okay, so I think actually I'm going to start my presentation, even if we are a little early, and I've got a lot of questions from many people who have signed up. I want to have the recording. So maybe most people is busy at the daytime and it's difficult to come into a webinar. What do you think? Is it good to have a webinar in weekends as well? I see I have done a lot of webinars at Sundays in Norway. Do you think that will work? Sunday morning, is that a good time to do some teaching as well? I'm asking you, so maybe more people come live. But we are fine. We are a great group. And if this is the first time, I guess it's the first time you are with my webinar, you will always see me with a cup of tea. Okay, Deborah, right, weekend would be great. I'm retired, so anytime is good. Thank you. So maybe I should do, I love doing Sunday mornings. I have done it a lot for when I run my Norwegian courses. We also often have it at Sundays because it's a time where it's like calm and more relaxed. So cool. But afternoon is better for you. I understand that, Joy, but I'm sitting here in Norway, so I could do it in the evening because I'm fine getting up around 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. But afternoon will be in the middle of the night for me. And now I'm getting back to Asia, but only for some few weeks. So this year I'm going to stay in Norway the whole year. And it's exciting. It's exciting to come back. But I'm perfectly fine if people can join me late in the evening. I can get up early. That's no problem. I'm an early person. And in Norway now, it's dark. Well, it's going to be even darker, but it's around, we have probably 6-7 hours daylight now, and it will be darker. If you go up north of Norway, it's dark all the time. Yeah, we can have northern light there, more up in north, but actually from if I look out here, I'm living by the fjords. Oh, not Bergen, but Bergen. Yeah, well, you are known here. I'm living a little outside Bergen, in a small little village. I've actually moved to a village I've never lived in, but my grandparents is from here. So it was a matter with my son. He wanted me to come back to Norway. I'm helping him out with doing some business things. He's a grown-up guy, but I said to him, why don't we do something totally different and to go to this little village where the ancestor she is, because my mom is from this village, and it's amazing. It's really, really beautiful. But of course it's cold though, not like Hawaii and California. So, but the difference, like Norwegian houses, is really, really warm. It's insulated, big windows, everything. So welcome to people who are coming in here, and I'm really appreciating the chatting there. So, but now I think it's time to share my screen. And the webinar, I'm just putting up the chat so I can see it. Sundays are fun, anytime work for me, but you are correct. A lot of people are at work now, yeah. So thank you. So unlock the secrets to the chakras in your home is what I've called this webinar. And this, I just tell a little about how I started to work with this, because as I said in the beginning here, I have been working with Feng Shui for many years. I've studied with the great masters in the Asia, in Singapore, Malaysia, Taiwan and Hong Kong, and I've really dedicated my life to it. But it was one morning when I was running on the beach down in Sri Lanka, I was going to have a webinar about how to declutter your home. And I had this download. I could see, oh my God, the chakras is in the home as well. And I was thinking, well, I need to test this out. I had this insight, right? So I sent out an email to the people who had signed up, and I said, I'm going to talk about decluttering, but I have to change the subject and invoke the chakras in the home as well, because I just had this insight and I need to share it with you. And that was the beginning. I think it's a couple of years ago, and that is how I'm organizing now. And I have a course which I called the Yoga of Decluttering, where we work through each area of the home, and I connect the inner and outer world. And a lot of what I've learned and studied with chakras, it's a mix between the Western world and the Eastern world. I have been in India. I have taken yoga teacher training. I am not a yoga teacher. I don't teach yoga. I did it for my own. Well, I teach yoga actually sometimes, but not as a profession. But I did it for my own deepening of yoga. So of course we studied the Yoga Sutras and everything. But I have learned a lot from Caroline Myss. Are you familiar with Caroline Myss? I'm not so good in saying her name. Caroline Myss, M-Y-S-S. You know her work? Yes. And discover the magic of decluttering your home one chakra at the time. So I'm just writing here. Have you read some of Caroline's book? Caroline. She's not talking about the chakra in the homes, by the way, but the understanding of the chakra I have got very much from her. And this webinar is for you who dream about a simpler life, want to do decluttering both on the inside and outside, and wish to organize your home and your life once and for all, and wish to learn more about the ways your home affects you, and are ready to take the next step to achieve a better flow in your home and in your life. You don't have to know Caroline to follow me. I just was curious about, because she's not so known in Norway, but I saw that a lot of the Australian people also was familiar with Caroline's work. And I'm actually, this weekend, I'm going to spend with her in Tindhorn up in Scotland. I really look forward to have teaching from her again. She has some wonderful books. You will learn more about how your home and your life is connected, what chakras are, in what areas of your life chakras can play an important role, and how you can use them to guide you where you need to, I need to move this a little, where you need to clean up at home and in life. Oh, I see it's more people. Welcome, the people who is coming in here now. You will also learn more about how your home and your life is connected. Oops, I was there. Stick with me to the end, and I share with you one secret that many of us back, whether it's out our decluttering or from going after other dreams we dream about living our life. And I like to ask, what is your biggest challenge at the moment? Maybe you don't have a challenge. Maybe you're not curious. I'm not saying you have to have a challenge, but my experience is that when I have webinars, people has areas in their life where they feel the energy is not moving the way they wish it should. So just to have a little feeling about that. And I think what I've seen is that if we can downsize our life, if we can downsize our to-do list, downsize everything, we will be more happy, we will feel more calm, we will feel better, we will appreciate much more of life, because we are bombarded with you should have more, you should be more, you should do that, you should do that, you should do. But we are actually human beings, not human doings. And everything reflects in our life, because when we see our life and our home and understand how it is connected, we will be sure to find this inner peace. And Jolie said, no, I am not retired recently. I'm trying to downsize to be able to spend more time with my children and my grandchildren. And that's beautiful, Jolie, because that is the sweet little things in life. That is the big things. And that's what I decided to do now, to leave my Asian life and go back and stay a year with my son. And I'm sharing this house with him, and I'm really enjoying. I wish I had more peace in my life when he was younger, but it's never too late, really. He's not a dad, so he's 26. So I think that's really, really so important, because in my experience and how I have worked with people is that when we let go of a lot of things, that is when the magic happens. And why I love working with declutter. And just to say, when I'm talking about decluttering, I don't mean only your home. I mean the inside and outside, because it's so connected. And I have found some simple tools that really works. And after being on a decades-long journey to find myself, I found that decluttering was one of the missing links in my life. And I was a hoarder, and I had so much stuff. It was just packed down. But everything we own, we are connected with everything we own. And I know that for you guys in the States, one of the big growing business there is the storage homes. But it doesn't matter if we put it outside our home. It's what we own, we will be connected with it. When I discovered how the chakras are connected with your stuff and your home, I really found how I could balance things and also take this work seriously. And this is how I felt. I'm an extremely creative person, which has a very unstructured mind, and it was very hard for me to keep focus. And I was always surrounded with chaos and juggling too many balls without any resolution, and never felt good enough. Often I made the wrong decision, and I was drained of energy all the time, and I never got to fulfill my full potential because I thought I could do everything. And when you think you can do everything, you do nothing. It's really that. I had kind of an abundance of new ideas, but I was never able to complete them. And welcome to the club, Kelly. I hide all my half-done projects in any cupboard and everything, especially when I was having visitors. I was just pushing it away. So it's like, sometimes, you know, when the people knocked at the door, I pretended I wasn't there because I was embarrassed. Sorry, it's actually a lot of shame connected with clutter as well. Cleaning, organizing was only superficial. I just did the outside, and I was never able to get rid of things that was not good for me. It could be men, it could be friends, it was possessions or whatever. It was just like, it was so hard for me to say no. I said yes and I meant no, and it was screaming inside me, no, you shouldn't say yes there, but I did. But you can't fill a cup that is full. That is a Zen saying, and that is so important. Did you know that research shows that clutter is obstructing our ability to be focused? It is like the clutter is calling you all the time, your attention. And clutter is like knots on a muscle that obstruct the flows in of the energy in our home, in our chakras, and in our lives. I love this drawing. This is a very good friend of mine who made for me. And clutter is all very often postponed decision. I think it was Barbara Hemphill that said that, and I love that saying, because when we have this difficulty to make a decision and we say, I'll deal with that later, it is about we postpone something and we block the energy flow, the nice flow that everybody has in their life. Welcome to the new people here, and I'm so happy to see more people joining here. So here's about the chakra in your home and the life, and some of these concepts, like I will talk about basements and stuff. I know that in Australia they don't have basements, so I will explain how you can. Is it normal to have basements in the houses in the States? Norway, most people have basements. It's a place where things are stored. Not in Hawaii. Okay. So what about you other guys? Is it normal to have basements? Yeah. So, but I will explain how you can look at it if you don't have a basement. So everybody wants to be up at the penthouse, right? To have this beautiful view and totally relaxed and can see everything. But to get up there, we need to start down in the basement. Of course, if you don't have the basement, you have to start where everything is stored. And I'm coming back to that, but I just love that expression. It sounds like in warmer places, it's not normal for basement. I think that's strange because in basements, it's just a cool place. At the same time, same in Sri Lanka, not many houses has basement in Sri Lanka. I don't know why. So this is about the chakras in your home, but I need to talk a little about what are the chakras. Are all of you familiar with the chakras? And of course, I hope I can bring one new layer if you are familiar. And if you are not familiar, then you maybe can get that easy light insight, because it's a big, huge, almost science to understand your chakra. So I'm just having this easy light inside there. Chakra means energy wheel in Sanskrit, and of course Sanskrit is a very old language, and it is from India. And if you are used to going to yoga, all these name the yoga teacher says about the positions, the asanas, is from the Sanskrit. I do actually have a friend that teaches Sanskrit to Buddhist monks in Thailand. He's from Holland. He's a Dutch guy. And he said that Sanskrit and the old Nordic Norwegian language was really connected. So isn't that interesting to see how this spins around, that our planet is very small And it is small. I mean, I'm sitting here, it's evening in Norway, and you are sitting all over the States. It's, and even out in Hawaii there. So it's cool. The chakra are your kind of energy hubs. They are port where the energy flow in and out of the aura and our body. And of course, if you don't know the aura, I guess most of you know, it is this extension of the body, kind of the energy field that you can feel, but you can't see, or some few people can see it, most people can't. But we can feel it. Actually, it's an easy way to feel it. And you feel it, you know. Us Norwegian, we are, this is such a big country with so few people. So, as I said, I have lived in Sri Lanka for so many years. And when we stay in line in Sri Lanka, people stay close to each other. But for Norwegian, we need space. We are used to have this fresh, clean aura because we have so much fresh air. It's really a healthy energy in Norway. We have our stuff as well, just to say, but the freshness of the aura, we can get the aura cleansed because we have the air outside is clean, is fresh, and we have forests everywhere and mountains everywhere. In one way, we can say that the chakras are connecting the body and the soul, and the chakras are spinning energy wheels. So this is the classical picture we see of the chakras. I'm not using a lot of time going into this, but this is how you can see it. And this, I'm going to talk a little about both how the chakra affect your life, but then I guess the most important, the most interesting thing for you will be, of course, also how they are connected with your house. If your chakra are unbalanced and blocked, you will experience a lack of balance and maybe blockage in your life. Each chakra is connected to a life task, and each chakra is connected to a feeling, and it's connected also to an area in your home. And if we can see that the home is a mirror of our life, the same chakra we find in the body, we also find in our home. So, first chakra in life. The first chakra, the root chakra, is the fundamental, is about feeling safe and grounded. And I need to move this a little. Sorry. Oops. And actually feel home on this planet. I have so many friends, and myself as well, especially when I was younger, as a good to grow up and be older, I feel, because I felt like I was from another planet that was one of the reasons why I've traveled all over the world, because I didn't feel home in Norway. I didn't feel home any place. I wasn't balanced in my chakras. And some simple facts about the root chakra. Of course, it's in the bottom of the spine. Our survival instincts affect the root chakra, kind of feeling safe with money and food. And the first chakra in your home is the basement. And it's also for you people who don't have a basement in your home, it's the things you store away. If you think that first chakra in your life is all this connection with your tribe, and I know some few healthy families, but most of the families is having this, in Norway we say shuffling something under the carpet. We don't want to look at it. We try to hide it, and it's hard to be honest and with our family. So let's see here. There are more storage buildings in West Texas, but basements are usually used to storm protection. Okay, so, but think about it, in all these storage houses that is everywhere, and or your garage, or places where you put away things you don't want to deal with, because that's what we do. I had this, I lived in a big house, really big house. I was running a business there. I had a kindergarten with 40 kids. So I had 20 kids in the basement, not the basement, sorry, first floor, not the basement, I didn't put there. And I had another house on the land where I had my kindergarten. It was when my son was a little baby as well. And I just didn't want him to get out of home. So I'm just an entrepreneurial soul. So I started this kindergarten. But in that basement, it was packed, and it was a big, huge basement. And then I moved from there, and I just found another basement, my parents' basement, and I was stuffing my stuff. And and then they was going to rebuild the house, so I had to rent a storage place. And I wasn't even aware what I was having in all these boxes. I was just pushing it away. I didn't want to deal with it. It was uncomfortable for me to deal with my past. So all this is connected to the root chakra. It's like this, and often what we keep is old stuff. It is connected with a lot of memories, so it's hard to let go. So what is your basement / storage room, garage, or whatever, where you hide your stuff? What does it look like? And how much do you have stored there? Do you have an overview? Do you know what you have? I have an overview now. I don't have much stored at all, because I have a little summer home on a small little island where I can't live in winter time. So, because the ocean is frozen, so I can't go there in winter. And so I will say, because I moved down to Sri Lanka, so I had to deal with it, because I wasn't willing to pay the price for renting a home. And I understood that if I'm going to move forward, I need to clean out my stuff. So is it cluttered? Because if it's cluttered and you don't have an overview, the energy is very, very cloggy there. And when it's cloggy energy, that means that it's hard to have a balanced first chakra as well. So and also inside the closet, you know what you press in. I mean, I have had kind of something. Sometimes I had to run to be able to press the doors to close the closet doors. And another thing, are you scared of letting go of the things you have stored? I used to be afraid, and what I see with all my Norwegian not clients, because I'm having them in my Norwegian students, they are so afraid of letting go of things they have stored. They are so afraid, what if I regret? But one really good thing is to ask yourself, what are you scared of? What are you afraid of? And why are you afraid? Because I think one of these things, why we postpone it, is that we don't know. So it's just like we don't want to see, and we close the eyes instead of we need to open the eyes. So to you, for all the stuff you have stored around that you don't deal with, not this clutter that is around in your home, these things you have stored away, how do you deal with it? And what are you afraid of letting go? I mean, it's nice to keep some memories, like some photos. But what I've seen working in people's home is like 20 people's, from these old pictures that we was printing out, almost the same motive, a little, cut off head, cut off arms, everything. So just keep very few things that really, really talks to your heart. And balance how to balance your first chakra. Look at the family pattern you have inherited. Are they still in control of you? And also create a daily rhythm that supports you, because the daily rhythm, it's really connected with your first chakra. It's your place on this planet. Find the rhythm and keep to it. Do the same thing. Be conscious about your rituals. So many people do the first thing we do in the morning, we drag out this and we start to see what's happening instead of tuning inside and listen inside before we start to connect with the outer world. And be grateful for the good habits that was passed down from your family, because I know a lot of people has challenge with family stuff. Not many people come from a healthy tribe, but everybody has something good they can bring from the family, from the tribe, and be grateful for that. The root chakra represents our foundation, and it's all about feeling grounded and secure. So when you have these things, you don't know what's there. It's kind of this cluggy, tight energy. Open your eyes, look at it and see what you want to have, what you want to keep. The same thing you do with your things you have got from your family. Your pattern, the way you deal with your family stuff, what is good, what do you want to keep, what do you do, what do you not want to repeat, okay? And second chakra in life is about the sacral chakra, that is our ability to be creative. It's our sexuality, is where we give birth to all our ideas, all our what is born out of us, right? And it's also the way where we accept change. And the placement of the second chakra is about approximately 2 inches below the navel and 2 inches in. So emotional problems that affect the second chakra is the feeling of living in abundance. It's not a problem. That's the benefit of a healthy second chakra, I can see. And feeling elation, joy, and having a healthy sexuality. And sensuality, I will say also. A lot of people is living a single life. So it's more about how confident you are in your own sexuality, even if you're living alone. And the second chakra in the home is your bedroom, and because the bedroom is connected a lot with second chakra. So look at your bedroom. Is it a place where you feel you can really relax and have a nice sleep? Because if your bedroom is cluttered, the energy gets cluttered there, and it can be a challenge. So bedroom is connected with the second chakra. And your bathroom and all the water system. I was just having a student now that asked me, Nina, I have leaking bathroom. The water pipes is leaking, everything is leaking, and also the electricity, it's some trouble. And I said, it's a clash between yin and yang. And of course, it's a lot with second chakra. It's like the water system in our house. Your bathroom, do it read some of this word. I have had a friend to translate it, so she's using some of the words that I'm not using so much. Do you feel cleansed and spiritually uplifted after being in your bathroom? And it's also very, very much connected with your bills, your accounting, all that stuff, the documents. And how do you have an overview? I have had a lot of clients that is scared to death to open up to see what's in the bank account, even if they know it's money there. It's just like they are afraid to go to the open the letters and emails and everything, because, and most of it is because it's no overview. They don't know what's there. Are your documents at home and in the office organized? And I'm really talking mostly about, I'm not talking about love letters, I'm talking about things related to your economic situation. And how is your private economy? Is it easy to keep track of? Or is it just like, I know all the credit card you can get in the States, and I have seen it over and over again. I have actually had a lot of clients in the States, not worked, I haven't been teaching, but I work with feng shui there. And it's just like, well, I just grab another card and just losing the sight. So it's really connected with the second chakra. And of course, the purpose of second chakra is feeling this abundance. We get things into our life, right? We feel safe here. We know that we can give birth to our creativity, and our creativity can make us a living, so we can feel balanced and safe. And third chakra in life is solar plexus. It represents to feel safe, feel that we are in control of our life, and it's about self-worth, self-confidence, and in the belly, above the navel, you find the third chakra. And emotion that affect the third chakra is self-worth and self-confidence. I love if you look deeper into that word self-confidence, meaning you have confidence to yourself and you feel that you are worthy of something. And very often people who don't have confidence look like they have a lot of confidence because they have to blow themselves up, right? You can see it on the dogs when they want to fight, they're just blowing themselves up instead of feeling safe in themselves. Third chakra is it's closely related to your clothes. Your closet is connected to your third chakra. It's how we feel about how we dress. Because what I see over and over again is that people who don't dress, your clothes is really related to how confident you are. And you can look at uniforms. Uniforms is created to make you give you a little more confidence. The hats is making you taller. The shoulders is making you, your shoulder is wider, right? So the clothes is really connected with how you feel, how confident you feel in yourself. If you want to stand out more, but you worry about what other people might think, I know so many people that really feel, what will they think if I go like this? Instead of just listening to what do you feel confident about and stay there and don't think about what other people think. Are you thinking, I'm sure that would fit others but not me? Or do you dare to show the person you really feel you are deep inside yourself? That is very much connected to the third chakra. And it's also, you can say the office space is also connected with the third chakra where you work. A lot of people working from home now. And how is it decorated? You see in these movies, these American movies, that you have the boss who has a big desk and he can look at the door, he feels safe where he sits, and he kind of, the desk is a little extension of his self-confidence, right? And then you have the secretary, and she sits very often with the back to the door, and she sits there and she has a small little desk. And that's how you see, you can, in a way, build a false self-confidence. Also with to create the space where you work. But look at how you work. Is it mirroring your goals and ambition? If you has an office with a tiny little desk, not even what I've seen many people do, they put it in the corner in the bedroom, and you dream about building $1 million business. Not fit together, right? Are you confident enough to make mistake and stand up and admit it without feeling small? That's also connected deeply with the with second chakra, no, third chakra, sorry. Purpose, feeling confident in and control in self-worth. So, fourth chakra in life. The fourth chakra, the heart chakra, represents our ability to feel love. It's the quality of love that we share with our surrounding and the love to ourselves. Past relationship, future relationship, and the relationship you have now is related to the first chakra. No, sorry, fourth chakra. And of course, it's not only sexual relationship here. It's how you can love unconditionally. And that is really, really hard. Placement of the fourth chakra in the middle of the chest, right above the heart. And what affects our heart chakra? Love, joy, and inner peace. Fourth chakra, you can say, is your kitchen. The kitchen is the heart of the house, the same as you have. This is the center. The heart is the center of your body. You can say that the heart is the center of your. The kitchen is the heart of your home. So it connects the higher and lower chakras, and you can say that with the kitchen in your home as well. It's where the family is connected. If you live by yourself, that is where you nurture yourself, where you bring in food. And how do you treat yourself when it comes to nutrition? I think that's really related to how much we love ourselves, the quality we put in the food we eat. Are you not able to give love? Or we are not able to give love if we don't possess love for ourselves. It's as simple as that. And of course, love, fourth chakra, unconditional love, a hard thing. But do you keep your things based on guilt, shame, or unconditional love? Like things you have inherent or something, or things you have been given as a gift and you don't like at all? So ask yourself these questions. Do you have any unresolved issue with somebody that you need to forgive? It's also very related to the heart chakra. Can you let go of the things that is no longer of importance? And do you dare, I love this sentence, do you dare to surround yourself only with what you love are beautiful or useful? I love that. It's a quote from William Morris, was a guy, he said, surround yourself with what you love are beautiful or useful. And I love that. I think it's so important. So the fourth chakra is about feeling confident and in control and self-worth as well. Fifth chakra in life. The fifth chakra, the throat chakra, represent our ability to communicate and express ourselves. We can look at the fifth chakra as our center of will, and placement of the fifth chakra is the throat. What affects our throat chakra? Communication, the ability to express emotion, to speak the truth, to keep secrets, and to use the right will to make decisions. When I mean to keep secrets, I'm not talking about unhealthy secrets. It's about if I'm sharing something very private with you, are you able to keep that secret? That is what I mean about it. Fifth chakra symbols. The symbol of your home is tied to the fifth chakra. What do the pictures and the symbols in your home symbolize? I tell you a story. I love to bring in stories. I had a client, she was a public speaker. She's a Norwegian woman, a motivational speaker and a writer. I've written several of these self-development books. And sometimes when she was out having speak, she was getting paintings, and sometimes they was worth a lot of money. And she didn't actually even look at them. She was just like, okay, it's a gift. I put it on the wall. And right when she was going to get out of the house, she kept that painting, and it was a terrible painting. It was a woman with a very, very long what do you call this? What the throat. So, and it was squeezed, and she had a hole in the front of the throat, and it was twisted. It was twisted, and it looked terrible. It didn't communicate to speak in a healthy way, and that was her living. And I took her in the hand, and I went in front of it, and I said, I didn't say anything. I just said to her, "What do you feel when you see this painting?" And she looked at it and she said, "Ash!" That's meaning ish, shit in Norwegian. And she took it down and she threw it. And she had seen that every day, but her unconscious mind saw it, but she wasn't aware of it. And that is what's happening with a lot of what we keep on our walls. We keep things we don't think about, and we don't know what is the symbolism of it. I have worked in a lot of businesses, and the Chinese keep, when it comes to the feng shui, they keep this probe with 3 coins and all this stuff. But that is not something that speaks to the unconscious mind of a Western person. So what I often say when I'm in an office and I said, "What is abundance for you?" And we have a beautiful painting of a guy looking over the mountains, and it's this big kind of castle that shows up, and it's sunrise, and it's just like that painting is so filled of abundance. And I don't say what they are going to put there. I just ask them, what is your feeling of abundance? Do you have a painting or something that can represent it? And several people have actually had that up in the office, so they can remind themselves of, this is abundance for me, right? So what is your symbolize? The throat of the house is also the hallway. It is where the energy enter your house. If the hallway is blocked, you will not be able to communicate freely. So the throat chakra is all your own center of will as well. If you have decided upon something, will you follow through, or are you that person who just say, okay, I will do that, and then you don't? 5th chakra is about clear communication. Have you made sure that your whole household can communicate clear and honestly? Are you honest with yourself? Most people are not. And I'm not talking about, it's very hard to go from here to here. It's 2 extremes, right? But it's about opening up a little more every day. That is my motto and my things. Miracle happen when you do small steps at a daily basis. And are you able to clearly express your feelings? It's hard, and especially for women. Women is hard for us to say without blaming. I'm talking about totally honest, totally naked, totally this is who I am. I'm sure most of you have these Brené Brown books, which is talking so much about allowing yourself to be vulnerable. And I love her books. The throat chakra is your own center of will. If you have, no. Oh, there it was a repeat. The living room is the communication in the family's center. So the living room is very often where the family is communicating, and most families have connect themselves around the television and don't speak very, very much to each other. I see that sentence need to be edited a little bit. So do you feel that you have clear communication in your home and with your family, with yourself? Look at what your communication to yourself through everything that is on your walls in your home. Also your sculptures or whatever, everything has a form, and that form is talking to you and communicating to you. So purpose, being able to communicate and express both inwardly and outwardly. And then we are up to sixth chakra, which is our intuition. The sixth chakra, the third eye, is related to our ability to focus and see the big picture. Placement of the third chakra is between the eyes here and eyebrows. And question that affects our third chakra is intuition, fantasy, and wisdom. It's the ability to think and to make decisions, and it's about listening to that voice within, to your intuition. Sixth chakra in your home, the windows are connected to your intuition and makes you see more clearly. Books and mental issues that are just there also belong to the sixth chakra, because it's our mental ability as well. If you have a lot of unfinished projects, it's difficult to get room for something new, to get a new inspiration, if everything is just like all this unfinished business, right? It's difficult to express anything new with clarity. And how good are you in ending project? Many of us is having so big problems to finish up things. It's about, I don't know, I'm putting it on pause. I can't say, stop, it's enough. I can let you go. So think about that. How good are you in ending your project, and how many unfinished projects do you have in your home? Norway is a knitting country, so people knit. And I have been places where I have had 10 different sweaters and socks and everything. And instead of finishing something, you go to the shop and you find some new yarn and, maybe I'm starting that as well, instead of finishing up something. I have been in people there doing quilting, and it's like it haven't been possible to sit down in the living room because everything is filled up with quilting project. And not one thing they work on 10, 15 things. And sorry to say, multitasking is not possible. Multitasking is actually jumping from one to two to two. That is multitasking, okay? So sixth chakra is also about new vision, about connecting to the act of getting rid of things. To open up for a new vision, you need to make space for it. No way you can get it if you have too much unfinished stuff. You can't get a new vision. You won't be able to go through. And it's much about how judgmental you are to yourself. Do you see the glass half empty or half full? And can you identify new opportunities and act on them, and know when to say no and when to say yes, and feel safe in your choices? And I have to tell that this is a matter of exercising this no and yes muscle. I'm educated as an NLP coach, and one of our when I was studying NLP, we had this session where we learned to say congruent yes and congruent no. And you feel it in your body when you really say yes and you really say no. And it's not this wishy-washy nothing. So, of course, purpose of the sixth chakra is being able to understand life situation and perceive meaning. And now we are up to seventh chakra. The seventh chakra, the crown chakra, represent our ability to connect with the higher picture and the spiritual, be spiritual connected. The placement, of course, is the crown chakra and the top of the head crown. What affects our seventh chakra? It's the inner and outer beauty. I was living, I have a lot of weird stories, so follow my webinars. I'm going to run them in English now. Slowly, I'm going to open that door. But I was living with a monk, together with a monk. That was the reason I moved to Sri Lanka. I met a Buddhist monk. He had been a monk for 4 years. And I was deeply connected with a temple, 2 houses next to my house in Sri Lanka. It was this temple. But the monk stayed in my house. I'm not taking all that story now. It's an interesting story. I'm saving it for later. But what I saw is that the first thing they did in the morning, they did the meditation. And then there was wiping the floor. They was putting flowers. They created beautiful place, and being so involved in temples in Sri Lanka. And also I'm going now next week, in 1.5, the 20th of November, I'm going to Indonesia, to Singapore, Indonesia, and then I'm going to Bali, where they just sacrifice flower and make, it's one of the most spiritual thing, to make beautiful surroundings. You don't have clutter in a temple. You don't have 2 times a day, they wipe the floor, and they wipe every place in the temple in Sri Lanka. It's part of the meditation there. They call it wiping meditation. So 7th chakra, or spiritual world, is very much about how to create beautiful spaces. Our connection with something spiritual, right? And it's happiness. What was fascinating about being so close to all these monks was that all the happiness, the laughter, they wasn't so heavy, most of them. The 7th chakra is though where the inspiration flow in. And how many times have you gotten inspired but never acted on it? What stops you? And do you often think, what will they think when you are about to do something? The loft, and also you can say that the 7th chakra is a little connected with the 6th chakra. It's these things that is a little hard to grab together with creating beautiful surroundings. And I think just like that is not in this my presentation, but to bring in flowers, to have I have so many sculptures here, and I love them all. I have Ganesha, I have Balinese goddesses, I have Buddhas, and everything I've been taking home from Asia myself here, and they mean a lot to me. So that is also related to your 7th chakra. And you don't just throw in a Buddha, you do it with respect. I have done a lot of feng shui consultations for Chinese people in Norway, and they always ask, the first thing they ask is, where am I supposed to put my Buddha? So, and also the loft, this above the head. So this is some question you can ask yourself. How much do you trust your place in life, that you are on the right place? And I see that more people come in there, and welcome to you. And I will record this and send it to you. So I hope the recording is working. Yeah. And do you dare to trust your guidance? Because it's a higher calling, it's a higher guidance. And can you see yourself as a divine being? That is very much related to the 7th chakra. Purpose, feeling beautiful, connected and purposeful. So create these beautiful small little places in your home. I love flowers, and I can't live without flowers. And the first thing I do when I come home from my traveling is to get some flowers. It's just, I feel it brings in the spiritual and a spiritual feeling in my home. So what you're going to do now, or what I'm going to suggest you do when you are finished this webinar, is to take around in your home and look, where is it more cluttered? Where do you feel the biggest problems area are? And what is it difficult to let go of? And then you can sit down and reflect upon your life. What are your challenges? What can you do immediately to help the energy flow? And well, in the States now, I know when you see this see this webinar live, you can do that in the day. I believe in the momentum. I don't believe in postponing. And I don't, just to say, I don't believe in pushing things too hard either. I'm going to have one more principle for you to share that I think it's really important, and I hope I can inspire you with it. So what can you do immediately to help the energy flow? Tomorrow is an illusion. Do something now, right away, or write down what you are going to do and make a plan. Really important. You might resonate with some of these challenges I have shared with you. Don't worry, there are many of us. And We buy decluttering books and only add to the clutter of overfilled bookshelf. We're drowning in stuff, digital stuff, physical stuff, activities, all our activities, and all our dreams, they're only dreams. And you cannot fill a cup that is already full. It's that simple. If you want something new in your life, you have to make room for it. This is what I have learned after studying this for many years. Everything is energy, and it doesn't not help to simply move around your stuff. The only things that makes permanent change is to get rid of this, what I call the filling, things between you and your life, you and your home, you and the beauty you can fill your life with. That goes both for the home and for life. If life is too full, there is no room for anything new. And if we feel ashamed, there is nothing more you need, you but something smaller. Everybody knows this guy, right? And of course, many of us have this iPhone. And now is the first step to success was Steve Jobs. Why do we love this Mac and the elegant design of the iPhone, many of us? Because it's not cluttered, it's not too much. They have been able to create it in a simple way, and the simplicity makes the elegancy. I'm not talking about kind of this minimalistic lifestyle. No, we are supposed to have the home we love. Not everybody is connected to have this minimalistic lifestyle. And the only thing you have is now. Clutter is often a result of these postponed decisions. And you can start now, make a decision to deal with the root problem, because that is what we need to do. Or you can wait for the right timing, the perfectionist, which most of us has, a little one that sits on our shoulders. And that I'm also going to share a little with you. The perfectionist in us is that all or nothing. We never get started because we want to have it perfect before we can start. So if you can imagine that in my yoga of decluttering course in Norwegian, I have people that want to print out all the checklists and everything and make this, make a booklet of it and make it perfect before they can start to do anything. And that's just, I'm a little, I like to kick asses a little and say, come on, move, do something now. And the perfectionist also has this unrealistic standard and expectation. And the main focus of the end goal is not that they can have fun when they do decluttering. If it's not perfect, then forget about it. And that is one of the main reasons we don't start to declutter, because we want to have it perfect right away. And it's not possible. It's not possible. It's not possible. So how to get started? I will give you some simple tools that work based on common sense. But so common sense is not always common practice. It's actually seldom. The main reason for cluttering is the perfectionist. And are you a perfectionist? I want to ask you, or I want you to ask yourself. A perfectionist maybe buy a lot of books, do a lot of research, and want to know a little more, want to know a little more, want to know a little more before they can actually start to do something right away. I'm working a little with entrepreneurial women in Norway, and what I see, overeducated women say, oh, I just need to have one more workshop. I need to do one more thing before I can start. And I said, you have tons of knowledge inside your head. Start to use that first. So the perfectionists just never feel good enough. Ironically, I find a lot of the participants in my Clutter-Free Home course are perfectionists. And how is this possible, you might think? That a perfectionist surrounds himself or herself with clutter. A perfectionist wants everything to be perfect, and when she is not able to achieve it, she loses the interest, and that's how it is. First time I was connecting with my perfectionist, I actually had an American coach. I called him every 10th day, and he said after a while, Nina, do you think you are a perfectionist? And I said, that is the most stupid thing I've ever heard. I'm not a perfectionist. And he said, well, I will send you just some checklists so you can go in and see. And he sent me, and I opened it and I looked into it and was like, oh my God, it hit me in my solar plexus chakra. I was just like, I had no idea I could be a perfectionist. The perfectionist can never be in the process. She's always focused on the result. A perfectionist will never enjoy the actual process of the decluttering. Perfectionists often have less fun because the focus is only to look for the imperfection rather than celebrating what is in front of her. So what I hope you do know, I hope I really have inspired you to start to move some energy and celebrate it. When you have done a little, don't think that, my God, I'm not done, I have to do more, I have to do more, okay? The perfectionist sitting on your shoulder will whisper to you, you can do better than this. They will laugh at you, it's not good enough. Never get started, have unrealistic standard and focus too much on the result. It's this push-pull all the time. Okay, I'm working, and then I give a damn, I'm not doing anything. And you never feel good enough. You never feel that it's good at all. Sound it familiar? Do you have something in your life that you hold back because this perfectionist, you're waiting for that perfect moment? I mean, everybody has to start a place, and we need to allow ourselves to be beginners. And in this perfect world we live, where we are bombarded from Facebook and from all the ads that everything is supposed to be perfect, we forget that it's actually very okay to be a human being. What are the things you are delaying doing, hoping that it will become easier? And I promise you one thing, it won't be easier. The longer you wait, the harder it is to start. So where is the perfectionist strongest in your life? Ask yourself, write it down, and see if you can give yourself a hug. I think it was this Maya Angelou. She said, you do as good as you can, and when you know better, you do better. And it's so important to be mild to yourself, to be kind to yourself, because nobody else will be kind to you if you are hard to yourself. Okay? If you see your so much sacred, you will fill it with the things you love. So why is it so hard when it seems so easy? We live in a comfort zone. To step outside the comfort zone feels uncomfortable. Changing habits takes time, and it won't happen overnight. To step out of our routines and into some new ones can cause discomfort, and we are so addicted to feel comfortable all the time that we run away. We run away from everything. I know that you can do it. It's not about folding that shirt right or in a correct way. It's about a new way of thinking that will help you to open up your space inside your mind and in your life. Space that you can fill with your dream project and the courage to say no to the things that doesn't matter. Make up your mind now and do it. Deep down, we know what needs to be get done. It's easy, but 1 week action is not enough. Sudden effort will not lead to permanent solutions. Sudden effort contributes to a yo-yo effect in our life. It brings our mood up, then you forget everything, and then you feel down, and then it becomes a problem you simply have to deal with. You take it, on the surface, and it's get bad again, and then you have this roller coaster. I have lived my so big time of my life in a roller coaster, and avoid the roller coaster life because it's so much nicer to have it a little smoother. Fall is when the nature lets go, the leaves fall off. Maybe you in Hawaii or some places probably don't have so much leaves fall off. America is an amazing country where you have all these places, all this climate, it's in one place. This is how many people feel like when they look in our mind. It's like overwhelmed, chaos, no time, frustration, no space, can't find it. And it's so much, we are wasting so much energy that we can use to the good things in life. Like one said here, she wanted to spend more time with her kids and grandkids instead of running around being frustrated about not be able to find the stuff and be drained of energy. What you do every day matters more than what you do every once in a while. And I love that quotation. It's so important. The things that surround you can either lift you up or weight you down. Uncluttered surrounding leads to inner peace. So we can continue to do it in the same old way, or we can do something new. So I believe that you with interest are still following this webinar and have a dream of a simpler life with less things that doesn't matter and focus on what matters. You are looking for advice on how to move on with decluttering the spaces around you. You can do it yourself. You're only one decision away. But did you know that 90% of all of us has this, of the New Year resolutions are forgotten around January 14th. This is the statistic. A lot of decisions we make have the same fate. For you who have tried to get it together over and over again and never seem able to make a permanent change, I have created the Yoga of Decluttering, an online course. This course will not only change your home, it will change your life. Everything is connected. When you start with one part of your life, you will start seeing the ripple effects. Here's how we do it. This is not a quick fix. It's only permanent solution we look for. Make small and realistic goals to overcome. Share victories and defeat with great support group, because life is not straightforward. We peel off layer by layer. Working with both inner and outer matters, and that is so important. I have read a lot of declutter books myself as well. Some say if you just keep your house in order, the rest will fall in place. My experience is not that. Maybe some do, not the people I have been working with. This course will change your whole life. This course will give you a tested recipe that works, inspiration to think differently, get help to start the declutter process once and for all, so you can focus on what you love instead of things that bother you. You will have assistance with both your inner and outer cleanup, a close supportive Facebook group, videos, checklists, and step-by-step exercise for all categories and areas in your home. Maybe you are thinking, should I spend money to learn how to clean up and declutter my own clutter? According to post-courses questionnaire, every participant found that they spend less money on their stuff now. They start to be aware and conscious of how they use their money. Many people start to sell stuff that they found no use for anymore. So very many people start to get a lot of money back right away. You will realize that with less things you care for, you won't fall for the 3-for-2 type offer anymore. And nothing is cheap, comes to cheap when we don't actually need it. This course is so full of content. It's 2-part, and that will assist you both with your inner and outer cleaning up. Clutter is an obstacle, stopping you from reacting to your full potential. Getting a good start will create ripple effects. I'm sorry, guys. This is how it looks in Norwegian. The course will be finished in the 20th of November. But you can see the visual image of it. So we have a startup kit. We have a lot of visions. We have checklists, and it's an introductory course. In Norwegian, I have a hypno file. I will get that in English as well. Of course, I'm not going to give you the Norwegian because the hypno file, a hypnos file, and I'm not going to read it. I need to have a person that can read it in English. Will help you get focused, and I see people love it. So this is about I Write For You. It's about your organized home, organized life. It's a lot of bonuses. It's a lot about the chakras. It's I will give you feng shui tips, and it's webinars as well. And clutter-free home is specific tasks and exercise sent you weekly for 6 months. And I've ended to do it for 6 months. Really, because I have had this for 2 years now, and I have tested and tested, and what I find is that we need to take time. This is not that the perfectionist is at work. We need to take time. So you will find motivational videos and checklists online in our member site. In the case of traveling or illness or holidays or whatever, you will have access to this material as long as you want. And you can start and restart the emails as much as you like as well. You have spent your whole life creating habits. To make lasting changes, you will need time to adjust. And this is how also every task, every checklist, everything will of course be in English, but I have marked it so you know which chakra am I working in. So this is for the hallway, and here you have the chakra, it's related to the 5th chakra. So you know which area am I cleaning in here. Then we have organized life. It's weekly exercise to inspire for inner reflection, to create a life you are dreaming of and get rid of all the things that are holding you back. And to create long-lasting results, we need to work both in our surrounding and in our outside world. And insanity, doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different results. And we will work with kind of archetypes. I studied archetypes with Caroline Myss for many, many years. It's about why are we sabotaging ourselves. So it's deep. I love to go deep. I don't like to work on the surface anymore. I don't like to declutter on the surface, and I don't like to declutter in our life, in our surface. We need to go to the root problems, and you need to work for that. Here is some testimonial. Nina, she has followed me for a while, and what I see is that people is eager. After 2 years, they are in the Facebook group, and it's I love that Facebook group because they are so inspiring to each other, and of course I'm there as well. What I'm going to do for my Norwegian audience now, I'm going actually to have a workshop with the chakra once a month for the inner work, and I'm working really intuitively, and my passion is to give as much as I can, because I feel that this is my one of my ways to make a better world, if we can be more aware of our stuff. For me, this is not a course. A course is something short and simple. Clutter-free home means a new perspective on the things I surround myself with. Cleaning up is not a duty of superficial ideal. My home needs to look good. This cleaning is driven by an inner motivation to create surroundings that make me feel good. Clutter-free home is like life wisdom structured as a course. It's hard to explain. I'm not really able to find a good description or word of it. So we find a lot of chakra. You will have the chakra for your life, the chakra in your home, all the chakras from 1 to 7, with a lot of inner reflection, and in your home as well. And of course, now I have gone through that with you. So each chakra of your home has an impact in your life. And it's about, clutter is about the knot that blocks the energy flow. So here I show you how your home and life are connected. Will go, of course, deeper than I did in this webinar, to see how you can get it better. I want to share this because this course will make a great impact on you, both globally and on a personal level. We are about to drown in our own garbage. We all is to attract 3 for 2 and other tempting offers. If we don't need it, the things we buy, they cannot really be considered a good deal or cheap anyhow. And the result of learning to make good choices will affect all parts of your life. The yoga of decluttering gives you a step-by-step plan to follow, where to start and why, inner and outer cleanup, hypnosis files to help you focus, a deeper understanding of the result for the clutter. This is a practical recipe. A lot of people have already embraced this simple principle, and I have experienced great change in their life. It's no magic, a change of mindset, easy to follow exercise. Clutter-free life and clutter-free home. We all need an inner and outer clutter process. We all have lives to live outside this course. So it's not meant to be as stressful like the perfectionist I'm saying, right? This course is recently updated and lasts for 6 months. Weekly you will receive exercise together with checklists and calendars. Midweeks you will get an exercise for the inner reflection. And you can also pause the email. It's kind of a place where you push a button and you pause the email and you restart it again. Over the last 20 years, I worked with feng shui in homes in the United States, Europe, and Asia, and my background in coaching, yoga, and meditation plays in, together with study with Caroline Myss. And using my own experience and user feedback, I have created a program that gives result, and the ripple effect keeps giving for the rest of your life. So start somewhere, and the domino effect is created. So what is the cost? The normal price I'm charging in Norway is 497 US, which gives all full year access to all the course material, 6 months of the emails. And as you suddenly know, we need the time, we need that 6 months. But I'm giving it better. I have an introduction offer for you. Buy the Yoga of Decluttering now and you pay 297 US and you will have it forever. This course, what happened with the Norwegian people, what I see now, the people who came with me in the beginning, they have got so much. And the first people is the most, not of course the most, I'm sorry, but they are very, very important for me. So what I've decided to do on the English market, which I have never done for my Norwegian clients, as to say, and that is I will give you lifetime offer with all the updates. I give that to my Norwegian as well, but it's another thing. The first 10 people that sign up will get 2 20-minute sessions with me one-on-one, where I inspire you to take action, do the work, and point out your blind spots so that you can move the energy forward in your life and your home. And of course, I can give you whatever you like in these 2 sessions. If you like to have some feng shui help or whatever. And this is just because I'm new on the English market, so I give you, but it's only the 10 first people. Decluttering is like peeling an onion. What you think you can live without will change. My course petition take courses over and over again. It is the inspiration that helps them to go deeper into themselves and letting go of both inner and outer unnecessary stuff. So this is a special offer. And of course, I have the money back guarantee that if you feel that this is not for you, send me an email within 2 weeks after the course has started. The course will start the 20th of November. I give you back your money, no question. You don't have to fill out your questionnaire, anything. I will just give it back to you. You have everything to gain and nothing to lose. So this is how you do it. I will send you in an email right after. You go into this link and I will, what did I do now? I suddenly came into that link. Let's see. There. I will copy that link. That what was I was going to do. Well, I will send you an email about it. And you will have that link. And you go into a site. The sales page is getting up in some few days. But November 20th, you start the process of letting go. And let 2070 be the year that you decided to let go of all the heavy stuff in your life and in your home. So just a little summary. The Yoga of Decluttering is a course that help you remove the unnecessary things in your life, so you can have a home and a life that filled with your life. And you can make choices now that support you and your family, and you can let the energy thieves steal your energy. It all starts with a decision. Decluttering is like peeling an onion, and several people have participated more than one time, and it's just like we get deeper and deeper. To be able to stress the process over time is golden. So maybe 1 year from now, you wish you had started today. And here is my little secret for you. Get to know your perfectionist. Become his friend. You don't let him take over your life. Remember that you are the boss of your life and not your perfectionist. So think about that. Make these small steps and celebrate every one of them. So if you go now, you pay only $297, you get lifetime access to the course, and you get 2 20-minute coaching sessions with me, value 500, I charge 200 US for every session I do. I don't have a lot of time for that. I'm using a lot of my time for creating this concept, working with groups. So this is a special chance you have now. And now I'm going to stop share. And do any of you have any questions to me? And thank you for sticking with me to the end. And as I said, if you are only interested in getting my advice, all of you means a lot to me, because it's something with the first time you do. This is the first American webinar I have had. And I had some Australian. No, I'm going there, and probably there's where I'm going to focus. I'm feeling a little, I'm not going a lot of places. I still need, I'm not stopping with my Norwegian clients. And I'm also going to have just a little how I use these principles as well on the inner work. In end of November, beginning of December, I'm going to go to Indonesia, and I'm doing some voluntary work in prison. And as I said in the beginning, I'm not a yoga teacher, even though I've studied to be a yoga teacher. I'm actually going to do some teaching of yoga and inner peace. We call it the Inner Peace Prison Project. I hope actually I can make some videos inside, because I'm speaking in English and my friend, she's translating it over to Indonesian. So I can share a little how we work. But it's actually with this exactly same principle. I work with this woman that is in prison in Indonesia and in Bali. So it's Batam and Bali in Indonesia. And it's really, really sad. Because my passion is for them to see that they can create a beautiful life even inside a prison. And they need to be aware of their surroundings, and they need to be aware of their thinking, and they need to declutter all this disturbance. So, do I have any questions? You will have some follow-up emails from me. And okay, thank you. Thank you very much for hanging out there. Gayonji. I'm not so good in, I'm trying to say it right. So thank you everybody for hanging with me. And if you don't have any more questions, well, I think I'm very used to, I think very many people in the States have this recorded webinars, so people are used to see recordings, and I love doing live webinar and connect a little with you. So and not just pretend I'm live, but I'm live here now, so I can connect deeper with you. But thank you. I think I'm actually ending here, and we have had this for 1.5 meeting. I hope some of you will join me in this, and if not, follow my blog, follow my webinars. I'm going to have, I'm sharing a lot. And I have been running my online business for 3.5 years. I said 2 years on decluttering, maybe it's more, I don't remember. It came slowly into my feng shui class, and then it grew out and became its own course. And it's my deepest passion, because we can't do feng shui if we have too much clutter in our home. It's as simple as that. So I end here. No, I'm going to do it. I said end meeting, but I will again thank you very much for staying with me.